Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So what are your thoughts on this new angle? But if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. But in today's video, I thought I'd do something different because with Newcastle struggling still to find a striker and Brentford apparently blocking Wisa's move to Newcastle, there's not really much going on around Newcastle except negativity. So in today's video, something different. Now, as you know, Fantasy Premier League has started. I have got a team. So in today's video, I wanted to tell you how many points I got, whether I think I did well, what mistakes I think I made, and how I think my team, if I will change anything. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like. I'm going to see how this video does, and if it does well enough, then I probably will do another one. But this is I'm going to show you how my FPL team looked for game week 1 and how I did. Now, by the way, Leeds do play Everton tonight, I think it is, and I have got Beto on my bench. But he won't get us any points because no one in my team didn't play or anything. So let's get into the video. So my team, I'll show you my team. I got 68 points. And let's explain the first player. So in goal, I got Verbruggen, who got 2 points. He's just a cheap goalkeeper. I don't really mind if the goalkeepers I have don't really get many points because Verbruggen is just cheap. I think Brighton drew 1-1. Then my defence is where I didn't have the best start in my defence. Frimpong got 1 point because, of course, Arne Slot subbed off Frimpong, I think, a few minutes before he would have got his clean sheet points, which is annoying. But, I will stick with Frimpong. I know what he can do. I know he's not the best defensively, but he's got a good attacking threat, and I think he will do well for Liverpool. So Frimpong will be staying in my team, even though he got 1 point. On to the next defender. The next defender, I've got Wan-Bissaka, who only got 1 point because Sunderland managed to beat West Ham 3-0. So that didn't go very well at all. Wan-Bissaka's a cheap forward. West Ham have got Chelsea next game, so I think Wan-Bissaka will be on my bench, but I don't regret that just because of his price. And then on to the next player, I picked Pedro Porro, who got a clean sheet. He got 6 points because Tottenham beat Burnley 3-0, so I'm happy with Porro. So my defence, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't too bad as well. And I know that probably, for me, there is a little bit of a concern over Frimpong's minutes because if Slot keeps subbing him off, like, before he can get his clean sheet points, that's not good. But I think Frimpong stays for now. Happy with Wan-Bissaka, happy with Porro. And then going into my midfield, where I had a really good, first game week for my midfielders, I've got Morgan Gibbs-White, who got 5 points. He got an assist as Nottingham Forest beat Brentford 3-0. And I'm really happy with Gibbs-White. I think he's a really good option who, he's always going to start for Nottingham Forest unless he gets injured, which I think he rarely does. And, he's able to pick up assists and create chances. So really happy with Gibbs-White, who got us 5 points. On to the next player, I've got Mohamed Kudus, as a lot of players on FPL do. I think he got 2 assists as Tottenham beat Burnley 3-0. Really happy with that pick, so he's definitely staying in my team. Now, the next pick is not too many people have him, but Reinders from Man City. He did fantastic against Wolves, getting a goal and an assist, so really, really happy with that. 10 points for me on that one, so really happy on Reinders, and I'm sure lots of people will be transferring him in going into game week 2 with how many points he got. Now, the next player I have is Florian Wirtz. Unfortunately, didn't have the best time. He was my vice-captain, who only got 2 points. And my advice to you guys who are playing FPL is don't panic. Wirtz is literally just came into the Premier League. I still think he could be fantastic value with his price of 8.5 million. Yes, he struggled to get into the game, but I'm sure he'll pick up and really start to hit the ground running in the next few weeks. So although Vert's got 2 points, he's staying in my team. Now, the next player, Cole Palmer, unfortunately, he only got 3 points as Chelsea drew at Crystal Palace 0-0. And yeah, I will admit I'm a bit disappointed with that for the price that you're paying for Cole Palmer. I would have probably expected him to do a lot better. I'm still keeping him in because I can't get rid of him after one game. Am I concerned about Palmer? No, not really. I'm sure he will do well, but I do understand if people are panicking a little bit. But for me, Palmer is staying. Now, on to Haaland, my captain. There's a bit of a division in FPL between people who have Salah in the team and people who have Haaland in the team. I went against Salah. And, I thought I would regret it, but I haven't regretted it because even though Salah scored, I captained Haaland, who scored 2 against Wolves. The only thing I was a bit annoyed about was the fact Pep took him off quite early on when he could have potentially got his hat-trick. So really, really happy with Haaland, who got his 26 points. And I've seen a lot of people now on FPL panic transferring in Haaland, and I just think, I understand if you wanted to go with Salah in your team and you couldn't afford to bring in Haaland, but this is someone who guarantees you Premier League goals. He's going to start every single game for Man City. He guarantees you goals. And he had a great record against Wolves for scoring goals. So Haaland, I'm really, really happy with him. And, I think other people now will be panicking trying to get him in, but don't panic because, I'm really happy with Haaland, in my opinion. Now, on to the final player in my, I think it's a 5-3-5-2 formation that I'm playing in FPL, which I think a lot of people are playing that formation. The next attacker is João Pedro, who, a lot of people have picked in the game. And is this something I'm regretting? I think it's too early to say. I think a lot of people, including me, picked João Pedro because of how well he did in the Club World Cup. Unfortunately, he didn't have his best game for Chelsea, but give him time. So is this one of the mistakes I might regret? Maybe I do regret putting Pedro in. I could have went a bit safer with the likes of Chris Wood, who did really well for Nottingham Forest, or someone like Mateta or something like that. But I'm still going to give Pedro time. So I think the mistake I made last season in FPL was I panicked when players didn't do very well and I, transferred them out. But this time I'm not going to do it. If I don't have a good week, I'm not just going to panic and transfer out all my players. So 68 points, a really good week. I actually saw someone triple captain Semenyo, which is absolutely crazy. And I know a lot of, Sunderland fans who, had Sunderland players in and they did really, really well. Fair play to them, even though I'm not very happy about it as a Newcastle fan. So my bench, there's not really much more to say on my bench. I have Petrovic in goal. He got 2 points. I've got Dogu on the bench as a cheap option who got 1 point. I've got Beto, who's going to play tonight against Leeds, although that won't give us any more points. And I also got Konza, who could have actually got a clean sheet against my team, Newcastle, but he got sent off. But that didn't matter for me because he was on my bench. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how I did in FPL Game Week 1. I'm doing well in my leagues as well. I know there's a long way to go, but it's a pretty good start. Now, going into Game Week 2, this is how my team is looking. Now, I think I'm going to put Petrovic in goal against Wolves at home because I think that's a better fixture than Verbruggen, who's got Everton away. Frimpong stays in my defence against Newcastle away. Porro stays in my defence against Man City away. Although that is a tough fixture, I still think Porro's going to do well. Dorgu comes into my team off the bench. He's playing Fulham away. Wan-Bissaka's on my bench, who plays Chelsea at home, so I think Dorgu's got the better fixture, so I'm probably going to start him. Gibbs White stays in my team against Crystal Palace away, that's fine. Kudu stays in my in my team against Man City away, that's fine. Reinders stays in against Tottenham at home, that's perfectly fine. Wirtz stays in against Newcastle away. Palmer stays in against West Ham away. Haaland looks like he's going to be my captain for game week 2 against Tottenham away. I think he'll do really, really well. And João Pedro stays in my team for West Ham away. And then my bench is for Bruggen, Konza, Beto, Wan-Bissaka. So going into game week 2, I don't think I'm going to make any transfers. I want to save the transfers, and I think my team's in a pretty good position. So anyway, guys, get your comments down below. How did you do in FPL game week 1? I know a lot of people didn't do very well at all, so I think I'm in the small amount of people who did actually really, really well. I'm really happy with my start. And yeah, what are your thoughts? Have you made a mistake by not having Haaland in? Are you concerned about Frimpong's minutes? What do you think you could have done better? Have you made any mistakes in the players that you've picked? And I'm pretty happy with all the players I've picked. I'd say the only player I'm concerned about is Frimpong, but that's it. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Like I said, it's something different. If this video does well, I will do another video previewing game week 2. And thanks for watching, guys, but get your thoughts in. How did your FPL game week 1 go? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.